Okay. I have made it a point, as much as possible, to try and keep politics out of this channel. Mainly because there's too many other people who do it a lot better than I could at this point. But, I mean, why do you need me when you already got Sean Hannity out there? You got Tucker Carlson, Steven Crowder, even Tim Pool and everything. A lot of people can do the commentary a little better than I can right now because a little more on top of it. And I'm really, I'm an enthusiastic spectator, but I don't want to get into it. Because the fact is, politics is a blood sport, and I don't want to engage in any blood sports. But we are now at a point where we are about to put into office a senile, adult old coot who is an existential threat to this country. Is going to send us right. It goes beyond just send us back to the Obama years. We've already gone too far on that. Reversing policy at this point would be disastrous. To the point where I've seen things where President Trump is now seriously considering the calls for declaring martial law, suspending the election. If nothing else, give everyone a little time to actually seriously review this, because part of it is everything's on a freaking deadline. I think the only way they're going to solve our election system is to adopt a zero tolerance policy on fraud. This whole thing, we found someone not at the swing election. That should be irrelevant. How many votes they stole, or how many votes you found that they stole, should not be the argument. The fact that you've exposed a weakness in the system and exploited it should be enough right there by itself. That's it. Toss out the whole thing. The precedent in Paterson, New Jersey, there's an election where they were just rampant for, and the judges just tossed it all out, said, do it over. That should be it. And that's the only way you're going to get the system to police itself. That if somebody pulls something anywhere, and I don't care if it's down ballot somewhere where somebody's getting his friend elected dog catcher by stuffing a few votes here and there, you invalidate the entire election nationwide. That way, everybody's kept honest. Because they know if anybody gets caught screwing around, they're going to screw up the whole thing, and nobody's going to get in. Now, in lower elections, like up to the Congress and Senate, they send it back and they do it over, and you don't give them enough time to try and come up with a new mechanism. No, you do it over in-person voting, paper ballots. You do it the old-fashioned way. No computers. And in the case of the president, well, it turns out we already have mechanisms in place that have been there pretty much since the founding. Or at least since the passage of the 12th Amendment. I've been saying for a while, this country is going to get a civics lesson it's never going to forget because of this election. Because the fact of the matter is, at no point does the popular vote legally matter. Electors are chosen by the state legislatures. They use the popular vote as an indicator of how the people want to vote. But for situations just like this, where a lot of chicanery has been going around, they have the option, legally, to ignore it all. Seth just got out of the bathroom. It's a bit of a struggle. And they can just, they don't have to hold a popular election. They can just decide, okay, ladies and gentlemen, on your behalf, we have chosen such and such, we've chosen the electors for this party. Because there's been so much screwing around with the system over the years. The only real direct popular elections that the Constitution allows for is the representatives. Originally, senators were appointed by state legislatures, and then the Congress picked the president. Ultimately, with individual states choosing electors to send to Congress. The popular election is just it's a dog and pony show. It's a circus, to make us think we actually have a voice. The fact is, we have a voice through our representatives. Because every day, Agent K is proven more and more correct. A person is smart. People are dumb, stupid, panicky animals. And it's time we stop letting the animals run the circus. For this election, I would say, yeah, toss it all out, redo it. If you got, because the thing is, when you start talking about the thing of there's not enough fraud to throw election, that's the wrong answer. There should be no tolerable level of fraud. In baseball, you get caught, with a corked bat, you're out. Doesn't matter if you got on base or not. Your bat breaks and you're a corker. No, you're out of the game. For those who don't, a corked bat is basically where a player has taken his bat, hollowed it out, and filled it with cork. Makes it faster, but also when it breaks, you just expose yourself in front of the entire crowd that you were cheating. And again, you don't just do it for one state. Because some parties are, we can afford to lose that state. No, you make it for nationwide. You make it clear that if we catch any of you guys screwing around with the election, you're going to ruin it for the whole team. For the whole bunch. And that's the only way you're going to get this thing cleaned out. Not finance reform, not setting a date. Just say, look, if we catch any of you guys cheating, everything's off. And we've already got mechanisms to deal with that. I think that's part of the idea of why they set it up that way. Because there were probably screwy things going on in the re-election of George Washington, for God's sakes. I can almost guarantee Andy Jackson played crap. And he was the first Democrat president. That's when the modern Democratic Party was founded. Andrew Jackson was the first one. And frankly, it should be really surprising because, the Democrats have brought us to the brink of civil war again. They seem so good at that, don't they? Oh, because they want to keep the people dumb and enslaved in one way or another. Last time it was literally in chains and working the fields. Now it's just dumb and dependent on them. Well, enough is enough, okay? We need to slam the brakes on this and say, that's it. There is no tolerable level of election fraud. So they need to make this thing so there is zero tolerance. Anybody gets caught, I don't care if it's 10 votes, and the other side gets 50,000 on their side. They catch you cheating that, you just invalidated the entire election. Congratulations. I think the people involved, nice long fine and prison sentence, but also the knowledge that you just invalidated the entire election. Scott, think of it this way. When the Patriots a couple years ago were caught, deflating the ball a little bit, make it easier for Tom Brady to throw, imagine if instead of just losing draft picks and a playoff spot, how about if they had forfeited the entire season? That sort of thing. Make sure that, if, you don't just find the coach, you don't just, confine Tom Brady to his $15 million mansion and his supermodel wife for a month. Oh, what punishment. No, you punish the entire team. That way the entire team is inclined to, if they see something going on, they report it and they stop it. So this way, it's like, if some, election worker starts seeing some fraud, well, there's more incentive on all sides to shut it down and report it and get rid of it before it gets into the system and invalidates the entire election. So that's about my take on this. And I would like anybody out there, share us around. I want this to go viral. Okay, seriously. I generally don't say that, but I want this one to go nuts.
I don't like you.
Whatever. Anyway, for the rest of it, PayPal, Patreon, yada yada down below, and we'll talk to you later.